Well, guys, there's a point in life that you might need to ask for help, and I've reached that point. You see, we've been building this off-grid cabin in the jungles while we're trying to rebuild our coffee farm, and coffee season's around the corner, and we've been moving like a slow turtle because we've been doing a lot of it ourselves. I brought in a team, and these next 2 days we have a lot to do. They're inside already installing the sheetrock, and I'm about to show you guys. But we also have a punch list where we need to work on the side of the cabin where the water's getting into the building and creating mold. So that is not good. But with this team, our target here is that we want to finish this cabin in 1 month. So we're a little bit under the gun here to get this done. And we're going to be under pressure because we need to be ready for that harvest season and be able to move on to other projects. So let me show you. So welcome to the inside of the cabin here. It looks like a bomb went off, but we're progressing. Chavalo, van a salir en cámara ahí, un canal de YouTube. Dígale. Dígale hola a la cámara ahí.
Hola, saludos.
Got the crew. Aquí tenemos el equipo. Los Gypsum, los chirroqueros.
Saludos desde Nicaragua.
They've been working hard, so they're doing a good job. They've been progressing. Here we got Leo. Leo's the guy in charge. Leo, decirle hola a la cámara ahí. Saludos. Leo is his team, and he's been working in sheetrock for a long time. So he's working on the doors here. Yesterday they got the room done, and check it out. Look, it looks nice. Finally, almost getting there. My little tent is now becoming a luxury bougie hotel over here. To sleep in this room last night felt amazing. We've come a long way. I used to sleep here, and there was no walls. There was just a little tent. And get hit by rain and wind, and last night sleeping here felt like I was like somewhere else. So it's just a completely surreal experience because now this is all closed out. We're still gonna have electricity. Let me show you the rest. So while they're working, closing up the top here and this whole room right here. So part of the problem we have here is that this wall, for the way it's facing, gets a lot of water that hits the wood down here. And it's gotten to a point where mold started to grow inside it, and not only the planks bended and folded. A little bit sketchy here. Hopefully I don't fall. But take a look at this. This is the water is going in right here. It's just slowly creeping in here every time it rains. Gotten to a point where it just bent all the wood. Just took it off. You see? Look how bad that wood is bent. It looks like a Lay's or Doritos chip over here, all bent like that. So our goal is to fix this today so we can do the waterproofing before they close this out right here. But yeah, let's get started. If we can finish that today, and we also need to do the solar mounts for the roof where we're gonna put our solar panels, then I think we're in good condition to get this cabin done and open it on Airbnb. No, I'm just kidding, but who knows, you know? Maybe in the future we do have some Airbnbs out here, but for now, let's get this going and finish it. Alright guys, welcome to my coffee bar here. We are open Monday through Friday. We serve the best coffee in the world. It's actually Immense Coffee. It's freshly harvested from these mountains. And this coffee will get you going, man. It'll make you want to chase your dreams. It'll make you want to go for it. And you'll feel a lot happier. So definitely try it out. Welcome to this bar here. So this is what I'm thinking here. So the main problem was the water was hitting and coming into here. And so I bought some of this what we call here in Nicaragua sin liso. So I'm gonna be cutting this to about 10 to 12 inches, and we're gonna be using this to create a flashing. So we're gonna put it in here. So we're gonna put it in here, and it's gonna go there, and then the wood is gonna come up here, and I'm gonna fold this down. So we're gonna add silicone right here, so when the water hits, it just skates down. That is the game plan, and hopefully it turns out that way, because here we start something and we realize that we're doing it wrong. So it's part of life, you know. Sometimes you just gotta adjust and go. Let's go cut that metal sheet and go from there. Man, I have to say that I am really happy with the way this is turning out. Every time I walk in now, it just looks completely different now that we have walls. Since before we were staring at studs, insulation, it was open, looking all broken. And now we're just getting that much closer. We're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, my familia. For a big time, it was a struggle where we had to push forward and not much progress. But I guess if you stay consistent, right, eventually you'll start to see some gains. And that is what we're seeing today. And these guys are doing an awesome job, man. These guys are kicking ass out here, which is a spectacular. What's up, doggy? Where you guys been, huh? Where you guys been, huh? You got the little turkeys and gooses and roosters out here. Got a little bit of everything, you know. Gotta love farm life. It's a simple life. It's always the best for you. Oh man, my favorite time of the day is to enjoy this meal, to be honest. So good. Over that open fire. We're gonna put this down. We gotta continue with the wall. We need to seal it, so we're gonna apply a thinner, a sealer, and then a little bit of varnish to protect it off. And hopefully it works. Hopefully it doesn't start to crack. And then from there, we got the second project here. Bastante café. Alright guys, everything is looking good. We are all sanded and ready to go. Now I'm just gonna take off the dust with the rag, and we're gonna apply the sealer to seal this whole area up. Then we're gonna do the flashing. Almost there, getting there slowly. Alright guys, we are officially done with this side. We didn't get to do full sealing across the whole wall. We're gonna leave it like that to see how the sealer does. And then we're gonna decide how much ratio between water and thinner we're gonna add for the future. But for right now, look at that. The flashing is done. This was the problem wall. So we made do with what we had. We learned a lot, and I think we could have done a little bit better, but for what we have, it's good. It's still drying. We're gonna apply caulking after it is dried, so that way no water creeps in. But essentially the water hits, it rolls down because it has an angle that's down this way, and then it has a space here, so it would drip down without touching the wood. And now that the wood is sealed, it shouldn't bend the wood. So we technically solved all the issues we were having with this here. And it looks okay. It doesn't look the greatest, but hey, you know, in the mountains, when in the mountains, you got to solve the problems of what you have, baby. All right, guys, let's go check it out. See how things are looking over here. All right. So it is raining with wind, and that is the issue. As you can tell, the wood's already getting wet because the wind's coming in at an angle. But it looks like the water is hitting the window, hitting here, and then it is running down. And you can see the drops already just starting to form and drop down without hitting the inside of the window and going inside. So I think it's working. We did a good job, guys. Look at that. Look how amazing that is. So next runner up, we need to work on these solar panels here. Right behind this, we have a set of solar panels, and we're gonna start building the brackets for the roof here. So we're gonna get on the roof and we're gonna do test fittings, try to build some custom brackets with the metals that we have out here in the farm. We don't have everything, so we're gonna try to make it work with what we have and test fit some of these solar panels. Here's the game plan for those solar panel brackets. We have some angles here, what we call angulares here in Nicaragua. So we're gonna be using some of this, which we're gonna cut and bolt onto the roof. And right next to it, we're gonna bolt this caja 2x2, which translates to a box that's 2 by 2. And they say that because, as you can see, it's a full square. So then this will be bolted onto the roof, and then this is gonna butt up against here, and I'll put a screw in through here, and essentially the solar panels will lay on this. So we'll see how it goes. We're gonna do one test fitting. We gotta get ahead of the game, guys, because we gotta finish this project here. So we are gonna put this here, and let's see how this turns out. It's gonna be interesting to see how it works out. So what did we learn with this installation here? A couple things. Number one, this base with that angle, with the angular, super sturdy, really good for installing solar panels. We also learned that we need a drill bit for metal, so we can just pre-drill before we put in the screw, so we're not struggling. Second is that these little guys are down here, these little guys, which is the hardware that clamps down the solar panel, we need to find a modification for them to work better. So basically we need to put a wedge in there between the solar panel and the top half, so we can bring down and even tighten further the solar panels, because right now it's still a little loose, but it ain't going nowhere. Look at that. That's like fully sturdy, super strong. The wind's not even gonna pick it up. I'm not worried about it going anywhere. It's just that the thing slides back and forth a little bit, and so we're just gonna try to find a way to mitigate that and try to fix it. But hey, look at that, our first solar panel on the roof, my friends. And yeah, we're ready to put on another 8 solar panels next week. And I'm gonna do a full breakdown how much money I spent in this solar setup out here in Nicaragua, just in case you want to do something out here. For example, this 600 watt solar panel cost me $135 in Managua, which I think is a good deal. But the sun's going down, it's almost 6 p.m. Thankfully it stopped raining, and we're progressing. Coffee time. Check out this thermal here. Everyone got happy when we brought it over. It's a big boy right here. 15 gallons of coffee. Now while the guys are working hard inside, we're actually gonna go to this side. Whoa. Almost fell. It is slippery here because it rained last night. But while the guys are working hard, we're actually gonna go to this side of the farm here to check on the team that's working in the plantation. Last week we had a big problem on the farm. It was some coffee leaf rust, which is a plague that when it hits your plantation, you lose a lot of your crop. It's like a fungi that goes underneath the leaf, and it makes the coffee plant drop its leaves, goes sick, and loses production. So it was impacting about 20% of our lot that we're about to go see. And we did talk to a technician, agronomist, and he did give us something that we could apply. We applied it, so now we have to go check to see how it's looking. It's over there. The team is working down here along the line because we're also implementing some other changes to try to avoid this in the future. But it's part of coffee farming, you know. It was a big impact, and that's when I realized that coffee farming is not easy. It's even harder than I thought, because if you imagine if you're a small farm holder and your plantation gets hit with this coffee leaf rust and you lose 50% of your production, there goes your family's food, your income for the year. It's gonna be a long time to recover too. So it's part of life though. You live and you learn. We are learning a lot, and this is a challenge that we had to walk through because it is part of farming. So farming is just hard in general. Man, all the cicadas today are just screaming up a storm. The little doggies, they're out here on their morning walk. They're out here walking. Fresh water. Gotta watch out for spiders while going through a plantation, because there are a lot of spiders here nesting. Take a look at this year's harvest. It's coming up nicely. So this plot of coffee here is nice and healthy. This is what we like to see. But you do have plots that aren't doing so well. So it's part of the game and part of life, you know. So what we're doing here actually is we're digging a trench. You can see here. It's gonna be a trench by me, a foot by a foot deep. The reason we're building a trench because this is my neighbor right here, and this is our property. and we're starting to see that plants are dying down here, and potentially it's because when it rains, it's bringing down any potential plagues or stuff that's on the ground. It's washing onto our plantation. So we want to add a nice little drench, so when the water hits, it just drains out of the coffee plant that way, and it leaves without causing any issues or washing into our plantation. So that's our main goal. We're probably going to go 3 or 4 of these, and we're going to apply some cal, which helps stabilize the soil. And so the team has been working hard on this, but we got to make sure that we continue on. We're going to do 4 of these. Now we're going to go check on the rest of the plantation here. Take a look at this. This sickness is what I'm talking about here, that is slowly coming down, and we'll probably eliminate that plant after we harvest those few cherries, but it's part of the game, you know. We have that sickness up there too. So there you can tell that these coffee plants are not doing well compared to this. You see how this is well developed, has enough leaves. This right here has lost all its leaves at the bottom. So that's how you could tell there's a problem or issue. And then even more, you can tell by the color of the leaf. So you can tell the yellow, then you see some brown spots. So the brown spots are the ones that are healing. So that means that it's cured the fungus. And the bottom is where the spores, and the spores here is where that coffee leaf rust lives and propagates. So it's looking like what we sprayed is working. It sort of killed the coffee leaf rust, but I'm still seeing some trees that are losing their leaves. Take a look at this one. So we might need to come back in the next like 5 days to work a little harder and clean up some more to try to help against the coffee leaf rust. But some of them looks like they're coming with new leaves, so that means that what we're doing is working, but it's gonna take some time to recover. I mean, look at this one right here. This one's pretty beat up. It's lost its harvest. Essentially should have harvest like that one right there. You can see how this can be catastrophic for a small farm holder that relies on their plantation to feed their whole family. It's just like if they get hit with this, they're done, you know. That's why it's important you know where you drink your coffee from, because if you buy from people that care about working with farmers, paying them well, they'll make sure they're buying coffee from them throughout the years and not leave them in the air if they lose their harvest. So that's why as a consumer, it's important you know where your coffee comes from. I've got a bamboo pond here. It's been raining a lot, so it's almost overflowing. We got the piping going, and then we also have a nice little set of ducks now. These ducks used to live up in the kitchen area, so they used to maintain themselves out there, and from there to the pond is about maybe a 10-minute walk, so they never had made it. And then yesterday we were all working and we looked down and we're like, what are the ducks doing on the pond? And we're all happy because this is like the perfect home for them. They essentially got their private pond out here, and ducks need to be in the water, you know. They never had made it this far, but something was calling them. Their natural instinct was calling them, telling them there was something more to life and to come down and check out this pond. And that's how they ended up here. And so I don't think they ever want to go back, to be honest, because they got fish over here, water, worms, a little bit of everything.